What's good, BitRushers? My name's D5Brains and you're watching BitRush Crypto. Today's video, we're going to be going over some bear market investing, what coins I'm looking at as my top investments to kind of weather the storm, and the strategy involved with investing during a downturned market. If all that sounds good, do go ahead and stick around. But before we get into the video, make sure you're subbed to my channel, bell on to be notified as future videos drop. Go ahead and like the video if you're enjoying the content. You can find links in the description below for everything regarding today's video, as well as everything to do with my social media and my channel. You guys can let me know what you think of my picks with a comment, and without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the content. And just a friendly reminder to follow me over at ABRAXAS_DAO as we are building some cool NFT projects and games. We got some comic books coming, so a lot of exciting things in the Web3 space. We also have a great Discord community, discord.gg/ABRAXAS. If you guys are looking to join up and need some help creating your own NFT project or something in the Web3 space, or maybe you just want to hang out and talk about crypto, we got a ton of different chat rooms, so we should have something in there for you. Again, follow us on Twitter at ABRAXAS_DAO and join up the Discord, discord.gg/ABRAXAS. Hope to see you guys in there. Okay, so we can see pretty much across the board, other than like stable coins, everything is going down very quickly. We have a 30% loss here on Bitcoin, 36% loss on Ethereum, 25% loss on BNB. Just across the board, when we go down here, guys, these losses are epic, right? Normally we don't talk about loss that much. We generally like to stick to the gains. However, we can see even like ApeCoin here down 44%, and that's just in the past 7 days. So within the past several months, some of these coins have tanked just phenomenally. However, the time to buy is when things are low, right? Buy the dip, sell the pump. I'm not going to go ahead and say that this is the bottom, because we do still have probably at least another few months of a bear market, if not another year or so, before we start that 4-year cycle of Bitcoin again. Now, if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, I am referring to the 4-year cycle on Bitcoin, the stock to flow model, and the halving, where it predicts that essentially every 4 years, the market is going to do a cycle like this where it's going to drop back down as a major correction, and then we have a pump again to new all-time highs. So it's been doing this since the beginning of Bitcoin, and we can go ahead and look at a chart with that real quick. All right, so here's the stock to flow model chart. And essentially what the different colors mean on these dots is how long until the halving. So generally what we're looking for to sell off is in this yellow territory. Sometimes it's in the green here. However, in this cycle, we saw that the actual top was more in the orangey before we had that little second pump. But either one of those pumps were a great point to sell off. Okay, so you can see now that as we get into the green, generally the green and the blue are downturns in the market. We go down and then we start to pump a little bit back into the blue. We go down in the green, we start to pump a little bit. Because we sold off a little bit earlier here, everything is quickening. Everything's happening faster. The cycle is speeding up. So normally where we start to pump in a little bit, basically as we switch from green to blue is where we pump. A lot of people are predicting this time that as we get into these darker greens, we're going to pump again more like this cycle here, and we'll probably still continue to go. But the key thing to keep in mind here is that every single time it continues to go up and hit all-time highs, new levels, even higher than the previous cycle. So if you missed out on the $65,000 top on Bitcoin, no worries, because the next top we're looking to crush 100K and get up towards $1 million. Now this is key to keep in mind, because the model that we kind of use for all of our altcoin investments is that high tide will raise all ships. And essentially, as the market cap and as the liquidity in Bitcoin rises and the value of Bitcoin rises to new all-time levels, people start to take profits and invest them down the chain into lower mid caps, and then pulling their profits from there and going into low caps. So essentially, as long as a coin has like some sort of like real reason, real use case, something that will make it pump, it's going to rise with Bitcoin. So if Bitcoin's going from its current levels here of around 20K back up over 100K up to a million or close to it, we're going to see a lot of these coins do 10, 20, 30 X's, okay? Even from here, if we're going from, let's say, the last all-time high, which was around 20K, and this is now our new bottom, and I'm not saying this is the bottom, we could go lower, and we'll talk about investing strategies here in a minute. But if we're talking about that the previous all-time high is the new low, then we're talking about the low on the next cycle to be somewhere near all-time high around 60, 70,000. Okay, so if you get in at any point here and you hold on for a couple years, if you can weather the storm of the bear market, these are some great opportunities where in a few years, potentially, as long as there's no black swan events, as long as the model doesn't break, we'll be looking at our bottom being the previous all-time high. So right now, this is just an absolute phenomenal time for investment. Life-changing opportunities, life-changing gains can be made. We are going to talk about a few things right now. So number one is never invest more money than you can personally afford to lose, right? That's always the number one rule of investing here. And I actually want to change it. I've kind of made my own version of that. And what I think my version of that is that you should never invest more money that you can't afford to hold for at least 4 years, because we're on a 4-year cycle. It is speeding up. As I mentioned, things are happening a little bit quicker than they have in the previous cycles. And so if you're investing right now, don't invest money that you need to get out and pay for something you need, for your house or whatever, anything like that. Only invest money that you can afford to keep in there for 2 to 3 years until we're back up in this bull run. We're back up in the bull market. Okay, so that's going to be the number one thing for me, is that you should be investing only amounts of money that you can afford to hold on to for 3 to 4 years. Number two, don't put all your eggs in one basket, right? We saw things like Terra Luna, which looked like an absolute great buy, a really great coin, really great ecosystem, and they got liquidated on their, positions. They lost the peg to the dollar, and essentially they went below zero, right? Or, I guess not quite zero, but basically down to almost nothing. A lot of people lost a lot of money. So that would be devastating if that was all of your money was in that one coin. So spread it out, or at least, several coins. You don't have to get crazy and have 100 different coins in your portfolio, but it's recommended at least probably 4 or 5 coins. The second thing, kind of on that same strategy of not putting all your eggs in one basket, you don't want to put all your eggs in the basket at the same time, right? So the winning strategy, proven time and time again, is dollar cost averaging. If you don't know what dollar cost averaging, it's essentially taking a set price of money, let's say like $100, and picking an interval, whether it be a day, a month, a week, whatever you guys want. And obviously you can invest more, you can invest less. I'm just using $100 to make it nice and simple. So let's say we invest $100 a week. Okay, so now if I put $100 in right here and it continues to go down, I'm not sad because I didn't lose that much money, and I'm putting another $100 in, which means I'm now going to get even more coins this week. If it continues to go down every week and I'm putting $100 a week, it means that my $100 is now able to buy that much more coins. So as an investor, the market dropping, if you're not looking to pull out, if you're not looking to take profits at this point, like I said, that was our previous rule, that don't invest what you can't afford to hold on to for a little while. So as long as you're not looking to pull those coins out, as an investor, you should actually be happy to see that these coins are getting lower and lower and lower, because you're getting more coins for the same amount of money. So essentially, let's say you bought 100 coins for $100 one week, and then the next week it drops down 50%. Now you're getting 200 coins for that same $100. And if we're planning on holding for the next cycle, that's just going to be more money that we make in the long term. So dollar cost average is the best strategy. Again, pick a dollar amount and stick to it. Pick an interval, could be a month, could be a week, whatever you guys want. Could be bi-weekly, could be bi-monthly, could be every 2 months. Like I said, doesn't really matter. Just stick to your plan, have a plan, and stick to it. And then the final thing is, when we actually get up here to these new highs and you're making sick gains, don't be afraid to pull money out. You will never be able to sell the exact top, guys, and this is a mistake a lot of people make, is that a lot of people are waiting for this 100K level. Oh, we have to hit 100K, we have to hit 100K every time we've pumped, we've got to over this next line, and we didn't get there this time. So a lot of people left their money in, they're waiting for that 100K, we never got there. However, if you're dollar cost averaging in, you can also dollar cost average out. So as we begin to pump and you begin to make some money, go ahead and pull some out on the same interval. Probably, maybe a little bit more than what you're putting in. So if you're putting in $100 every week, once we start getting into the bull market and we start seeing really great gains, maybe you want to pull out $200 a week, right? Like double what you had put in. And just set it aside for the next bear market, guys. This thing happens every 4 years for, the history of Bitcoin. As we pump, we drop. We pump again a little bit, then we have a major pump, then we drop. Then we have a pump, then we drop, and we go down for a while. And then we kind of even out here, and then we pump again, and then we drop. We have a couple little, pumps. We go way back up, and then we drop back down, okay? So we're in this market right here where we're going to be in the green to blue for a little while. So unless we start to pump again here anytime soon, this is really going to be the great spot to make an investment. Obviously, nothing on this channel is financial advice. I just give you guys information, tell you what I'm doing, telling you my strategies. It's up to you guys to do your own research and to, invest what you can afford to lose or what you can afford to hold on to. But this is a strategy I'm using. The last market here, when we were in these blue territories, is where I started investing. And I started with only a few $1,000s. I took a few $100s out every week out of my job, and I was just putting them in different coins. I was doing a lot of altcoins and low caps, and so I made some really great gains here. I definitely pulled them out and put them into other coins and, continued to invest. I also made the mistake of not selling this top right here because 65,000 didn't seem like the top to me either. So I lost a little bit of money as well. However, I was able to hold a lot of that. So I still have it. I've lost a lot of value, right? We've lost value. Those are paper gains, paper losses. Unless you actually sell, you haven't lost anything yet. So I'm looking to continue to build my positions, and I'm going to show you guys right now 5 coins that I'm looking at, 5 coins that I'm going to be investing in the next couple months, whether we go down, whether we go up, because I know eventually we're looking at breaking this level and going way up into this, area close to $1 million, which means some of these coins will do double what their previous all-times were, and we'll go ahead and show you all those previous all-time highs. Okay, so just back to Coingecko here, we can see obviously the top ones. If you guys want to play it super safe, the higher market cap coins are going to be the safer bets, but you're going to make less gains. But if we're talking about going from $20,000 Bitcoin up to $1 million, we're still talking over 20x gains on that right there over the course of the next couple years on that cycle. So even if you were to just invest in Bitcoin, we're still talking about absolutely astronomical gains here, guys, right? And the same thing with Ethereum. A lot of people were expecting Ethereum to hit 10,000 this cycle. We only got to about 5,000. However, if Bitcoin's going to $1 million, I could easily see Ethereum hitting 10, 20,000 where Bitcoin is right now. So that's still a clean 20x if we were to see something like that happen. And again, guys, no guarantees on any of this stuff. However, these aren't going to be the coins that I'm looking at making my sick gains. If anything, we want to take profit into these coins as they're a little bit more stable, or putting our profits into something like a Tether, a USD coin, or a Binance USD, and these are stables and they're going to stay pegged to $1. So that's the smart play on that. The coins I'm actually looking at here are number one of my all-time favorite coins. You guys, if you've been following my channel at any point in time, you hear me talking about Polkadot so much because I do believe that Polkadot is going to be one of the top ecosystems in the future. They have really fast transactions. They have a really great network and system set up, really smart people behind it. And they also have a lot of subsystem coins like, the parachains and all that. So just a really great ecosystem here altogether. They link in with all the other coins. And so I think long term play. We're talking not just this cycle, but the next like 4 to 5 cycles. I'm talking in 20 years time. I do think Polkadot will be one of the top coins and, you know, show itself to be a major competitor to Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, even right now, if we go down to the charts and we look at previous all-time highs, we have an all-time high here of $54, okay, and an all-time low of $270. So will we break that all-time low of $270? It's possible, but I doubt it. I think probably won't see this go lower than like $3 to $4 range, even if we get super bearish here in the next couple months. But even right now, going from $7 back up to that previous high, you're looking at, and I'm just doing rough math here, but we're looking at about 7.7 gains from $7 to $54. So that's 7x on your money with Polkadot. Okay, now keep in mind that that would only get us back to the previous all-time high. That basically every cycle we're going to go even higher than our previous all-time high. So let's just say we double that. You could potentially be looking at a 14x. And at $7 a coin right now, guys, you could easily invest a decent amount of money. Even with like $100 buy, you're going to get a good amount of coins for that price. So obviously, the cheaper the coins are now, the more coins you can get. And this is, again, what you should be looking to do in the bear market is accumulate as many coins as you can. Coins that you think will perform, go ahead and start getting them. Right now, for me, this looks like one of my top buys. One of the top coins that I'm going to be looking to keep my investments in is going to be Polkadot, with the 6-7x gains from the current price only up to the previous all-time high, and I do expect it to go even higher. Next up, we have Solana here. Solana kind of broke out in the middle of the bull run. They have a lot of stuff going on with games and NFTs, so I definitely think Solana in the future will be a top player. I even might go as far as to say that Solana will also compete with Ethereum, right? So Polkadot will definitely be competing with Ethereum in the future. Solana potentially as well. So these are the coins that you're really going to look to get those sick gains when we start seeing that Ethereum, even at the lows that we're currently seeing, are up above $1,000, okay? So let's go down here and check the chart on this one. We do have the all-time low right here of 50 cents and the all-time high of $259. Now where we are right now is at $29, so let's go ahead and check that. 259 divided by 29, you're looking at 8.9x gains back up to that previous all-time high. And again, guys, we could crush that previous all-time high. We could easily see Solana over $1,000 per token in the next bull run. I don't think that's outlandish. I don't think it's out of like the cards or whatever. I think that could easily happen. I actually thought we might see Solana start creeping up above 1,000 during the bull run, but it did have a correction here along with all of the other coins, as we can see in the charts. You know, we had this absolute blast off where people started to realize that it's a really great ecosystem. They have NFTs, they have gaming, and, you know, we just rode it all the way up here. However, the market, you know, as we say, like the high tide raises all ships, low tide sinks all ships. So along with everything else, people start panicking, they pull their liquidity, and so Solana has also been affected by that. Again, this is going to be my number 2 coin that I'm looking to invest in. A little bit higher price here at the $29 range, right? So if you had like a $100 investment per week, let's say, you can only buy actually 3 Solana, so it's not as many as you would get with the Polkadot. And if we both get back up to the previous all-time highs, you're not making that much more on Solana than you would on Polkadot. We saw a 7x gain on Polkadot, and we're only seeing 8.9, let's call it 9x gain. So it's up to you guys. Do you think you'll make more by having more coins, you know, getting a 7x, or less coins doing a 9x? Again, you know, do the math, figure it out for yourself. But like I said, also, you know, you want to kind of spread your investments out, so it's good to have a little bit of each. Moving on to another gaming system, we have Polygon or Matic here. A lot of games are being built on this Ethereum layer 2. So if you're like an Ethereum maxi and you're like, I don't want to mess with Polkadot or Solana, these side chains, I want to stick to Ethereum, then you may want to look at something like Polygon Matic, because even though this isn't technically part of Ethereum mainnet. It's a layer 2. It is part of the ERC 20 network, and so it is built on Ethereum. So Polygon being paired with Ethereum, as Ethereum raises, Polygon Matic will also raise simply by being paired with it and being a layer 2 on that network. Now it does have legs to stand on its own. As I said, it has a lot of gaming stuff going. The ecosystem there is probably one of the biggest gaming systems out right now. They also have a lot of other cool stuff going on with the bridges, so you can bridge coins over and do different things. A lot of the same like DeFi and dApp type stuff you can do on Ethereum for a lot faster and cheaper. So for that reason, Matic Polygon is going to be another one of my big coins. And if you guys don't know, I'm also building some games right now. So, building is a great thing to do during the bear market. And we're going to be on Polygon Matic network here. So, just as like a builder myself, knowing that that's the network I'm building on, I think a lot of other projects right now are also building on this network. And I do expect to see Polygon crush its previous all-time highs. It didn't get anywhere near as high as I thought it would in the past bull run here that we saw, and so I do expect now that we'll have more games and more things being built here, you can also do NFTs, that this will be one of the very top coins here that absolutely explodes and has a huge marketplace, a huge ecosystem for games, NFTs, all that great stuff, DeFi applications, smart contracts, everything like that, guys. There's going to be just a ton of stuff being built, and so the use case will be there. And again, similar charts to the past two that we've seen, but we can see here the all-time low is actually 0.003. So if we were to get back down to lows like that, you can make astronomical gains by picking up a ton of coins. And we also have the previous all-time high of 2.92. Let's just call it $3 here to round up nice and easy. So we're going from 39 cents to $3. Again, you're talking almost an 8x. So a lot of these are around the same prices. So what the real key factor to look in when you're looking at things like this isn't the dollar value, but it is the percent gain or the number of X's that it could potentially do to those all-time highs. And again, we're looking to crush those previous all-time highs. However, at the price of 39 cents, you can definitely get a ton of these for say your $100 a week investment. And a little bit lower cap here, we have Sand. And just as a reference, Sand is being built on Polygon network. Sand is also being built on Ethereum network. So they have their coins on both the layer 1 and layer 2, which again is why I'm bullish on Matic or Polygon, because a lot of these coins that are Ethereum based tokens are also putting their tokens over on Polygon. So it's cheaper and easier to use, faster transactions. So a lot of great stuff happening here in the sandbox. This is its own ecosystem as a game. And so we also can look at things like plots of land that are NFTs over on the sandbox, or different assets within the sandbox. So a lot of other opportunities here within the sandbox, not just their own coin, okay? But we're going to focus on the coin today, and we do have a price of 84 cents. And this one dropped off quite a bit, guys. It had this super pump when they released their alpha. Everyone was playing the game and really loving it. And so these prices really shot up almost straight up. You can see that's an amazing chart. But it's also been affected by the bear market here. But we do have previous all-time high of $8.40 and a previous all-time low of 2 cents. So $8.40 divided by 0.89, where we currently are, you're looking at a clean 10x right here, guys, right? So 9.4. However, again, we'll probably hit even higher than the previous all-time highs in the next bull run. So we're talking about 10x gains, guys. Those are really great life-changing gains. You're talking about putting in, say, $1,000 and pulling out $10,000. Let's say you have $10,000 to put in, you're talking about pulling out $100,000 on this one if it does hit those levels that we're talking about. And that's only back to its previous all-time highs. If we were to get even higher than that, again, they haven't even really released the full, version of the game. And so I do expect this to go even higher than what we saw here, not just because of the next bull run and, the stock to flow model that we're talking about, but purely because we haven't seen the full potential of the game. Just a lot of potential here with the sandbox. And again, if you guys want to go over on OpenSea and search sandbox land, you can also pick up some land, which I also think will do extremely well during the next bull run. And finally, our last coin here that we're going to talk about is going to be Thorchain or Rune. This is a really great coin and token, as it is used for a lot of different things with DeFi and the Binance Smart Chain and BNB. So if you guys are into that type of thing, if you guys like Binance coins and Binance ecosystem, I have this one in here for you as well. And this one's currently at $1.75. Previous all-time highs we saw were around $20 again, so looking at something like that. Yep, $20.89. So we didn't have necessarily the exact straight up, but we also had more of a zigzag here because people are using this for liquidity and different DeFi protocols. So $20.89 divided by 174. You're looking at 12x, guys. And again, with most of these coins, I think we are going to see even higher highs than we did in the last cycle. So that's probably going to be our highest amount of gains in terms of the previous all-time highs. Make sure you guys do your research into all these coins and know why you're investing in them, not just because of the previous all-time high. That's mainly what I'm talking about here because I don't have time to dive in deep on each one of these coins. However, if you search my channel, I've done coverage on pretty much all of these coins in the past and to why I liked them, why I was bullish on them, the different things like what they're building and what they actually have to offer in terms of a coin. You can also come over to their websites, read their white papers, read their Medium articles. So there's a lot of different stuff out there, guys. A lot of different coins. If we come back over to, Coingecko, just a ton of stuff. We barely cracked, I think, the top 50 here. Let's see, where was Rune? So Rune's at number 76 right now, so I guess we were out of the top 50. But if we go down, there's coins into like the 400s. If we start checking on like page 3, you just need to do your research. Page 3, 4 here, do your research into these coins and figure out, is this coin something that's going to be valuable for a long period of time? Will this coin be here in 3 to 4 months? Like something like Kyber Network, any of these kind of coins, guys, Avagachi, Moon River. Do you think these coins will be here in the next 3 to 4 years, in several months, in 6 months? If you think they will be, you got something like Refinance here that's sub a penny. There's a lot of gains, a lot of potentials here in these lower caps that we're not going to talk about in today's video, but make sure you guys do your own research. The ones I've covered are going to be like my top picks, almost like the safe plays. I don't think any of those coins are going anywhere. Polkadot, Solana, Polygon Matic, Sandbox Sand, or Thorchain Rune. None of those coins are most likely going anywhere without a black swan event like we saw with Terra Luna. However, it is possible, so don't blame me. Always do your own research. Never invest more than you can personally afford to lose. But I do feel like all 5 of those picks will make life-changing gains if you start investing now during the bear market. Dollar cost average for the win. Hold long term, dollar cost average out, and you guys will be sitting pretty next bear market with a pile of USD coins ready to reinvest for the next cycle. That's going to be everything for today's video. I feel like it already went pretty long. I'm rambling on here a little bit with some of these coins, so I do apologize. But hopefully you guys got some value. Hopefully you guys learned something, and hopefully you have a little bit of money set aside that you can invest during this bear market, and we'll be high-fiving and go wild in the bull market just like we were last cycle. So thank you guys again for watching. Happy crypto. Let's keep getting those coins. If you're not already, make sure you're subbed to the channel, bell on to be notified, pound that thumbs up button, share it on social media. See you in the next one.